It takes time and pressure to bring the diamond out of the rough. You can't rush greatness. Take your time, be patient. Your time is here.
You're watching the Career Series powered by MTN. I'm your host, Talula Doherty Aditono, and today I am joined by a multi-skilled actor, host, producer, husband and father. Of course, I'm talking about Akah Nnani. Akah, so nice to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Talula.
You're welcome. And I'm just excited to have you here today because you're one of those people who I know has worked so hard throughout your career to get here, and you've excelled in different fields. Like I said in your introduction, you're an actor, you're a producer, you host, you're a creator, you're on YouTube. How have you been able to merge all those different areas and excel at all of them?
Wow, that question is quite tough because I'm not even gonna lie. Like, in my mind, I don't feel like I've even excelled, But I mean, people feel like, oh, I've done pretty well at them, and I think that maybe it's just because people see hard work. But to be honest, I'm still working hard at trying to find that balance and making sure that I still excel on all levels. But I think that one of the things that I'd like to point out is at the end of the day, there's so much that you can do by just yourself. So you have to put like a system around you, and not just systems, teams around you. So I work with people that I trust, people that are also like buy into the vision, and people that are skilled, and they help me to make sure that I don't drop the ball. I've missed a couple of opportunities because I was doing everything by myself a couple of years ago, but knowing that I have a team now, people who can respond to emails, people who can help me run my schedule, people that can help me or make a decision, management decisions, or also like focusing on other parts of the brand, just makes the job easier for me, and I feel like I'm getting to that point where I felt like I don't have to own everything. Ownership of 100 is just very limited. So I think that for me, that's how I've been able to do what I've been able to do, without like, falling or jumping the ball. Because I'm very passionate about and if I do something too much, like alone for a long time, I'll get bored. That's why and because I also am skilled, like in all these other things, like I want to make sure that I also give that, or do my best in expressing all sides of my
creativity and your talent. That's amazing. And one of the things I personally love about you, which I know a lot of other people love about you as well, is your authenticity. I love when I see you and your wife Claire online. You guys have a page together on Instagram, and you just express different sides of your marriage and your relationship, and also how she's an artist, you're also creative. How have you been able to sort of put out your real self without being afraid? Because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are creative, who want to show their personal side of their lives alongside their creativity, but they may be a bit apprehensive or afraid. So how have you been able to do that?
So I think that for us, the first things first is the motive. And that's the difference between, I think, ourselves and maybe others. We're not doing this because of money. We're not showing our family or because love sells or because people love. Because, I've heard that a lot of times, and left to me, I wouldn't even show my family. I wouldn't I don't think anybody has ever seen my siblings, my father, my mother online. You can't. I also keep my best friends who are not in the, it's just that one of my best friends now is in the creative space, but you wouldn't see my friends online like that, except some of them were like, I don't feel like you don't love me. If you don't post my picture of my birthday, I'm like, okay, if it means that much to you, but I'm very protective of the people in my circle that I really care and love about. So the reason why we do it is not for money or for, being Godwin couple goals. No, we had an intention. We had literally a call to do it. And so that's why we do it. So I think that the first reason is because it's not for money. So the second then is also boundaries. There are boundaries. We can't, there's certain, there's literally a limit to what we can actually put out there. And we don't put out our daughter. We don't even, except she grows up and gives us permission. So that's the kind of, thing we have. And then, with that, I think that also limits when we're genuine to our real purpose, when
Yes.
you're authentic. I think that's what gives us the authenticity you talked about. When we're real to our purpose of why, and we're not sidetracked by the money, the brand, how it looks. That's why we're able to tell like even the hard stories and hard conversations. For example, there was a time we posted stuff that we knew maybe quote unquote detrimental to the way people viewed us, but because we didn't want people to go on thinking about the perfectionism of a marriage or a relationship. I don't feel like it was real. I didn't feel like it was real for people to feel like, we're the goal couple and we're so perfect, when the truth is, to have a successful marriage or relationship, there has to be like hard conversation.
Yes.
There has to be like tough times, tough calls, and we also wanted to share that with people so that they have the right idea, so
I think I know what content you're talking about, and I'm happy that you put that out. As a newish mother myself, I was happy that you put that out, because that is very real, and couples do go through lots of ups and downs, and it's important for people to see the reality, and just because two people don't necessarily agree on what certain aspects doesn't mean that it should be blown out of proportion. It's just a conversation to be had and to be resolved. So I love that. So let's talk about opportunities and avenues for people to get out there. You mentioned that you're a creator on YouTube, and right now we have so many avenues out there. There's the Snapchats. I know LinkedIn is more corporate, but TikTok as well is blowing up and helping a lot of people get noticed as creators. So would you say, in terms of somebody who wants to be out there, that social media is the easiest and most available avenue for them to make their talent known, or would you still recommend going for auditions and all of that sort of route to try to get into maybe movies and commercials?
I think people need to study what pertains now, make a choice for what they want, and then chart out the best path they feel or think will make sense for them. For me, I felt like, social media, I was going for a lot of auditions, and I just saw that open call auditions weren't working for me. Okay. And I just decided I'm not going to do open call auditions anymore. I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't have the wherewithal to say, I'm going to be called for closed calls and everything. But then I started doing my YouTube and just focused. And then people started seeing it and liking it, and then started calling me.
Okay.
So I think that, people should use any avenue they can to make sure that they can express their talent. Because when I was even doing YouTube, it wasn't to get seen. It wasn't because it wasn't a means to an end, even though it did come. But I just said, if my acting isn't picking up now, it will pick up later. I trusted in God, in me too. I was like, let me just focus on also, because I also wanted, if I had a voice, I wanted to express my opinions on certain things, especially in politics. And so I was like, I'll use my YouTube channel to do that. And I started doing that. It was just because that was another avenue for me to express my art and my talent.
Yes.
So like I said, people need to find other ways. Like if something isn't working out, what other things can you give? What other value can you give? And try and do that. And that will lead to other things opening up. Yeah. It will always lead to other things opening up.
So just put yourself out there, really trust in yourself, your talent, and above all, God. Yeah. And don't sit back and wait. Because I think a lot of people are kind of, like you said, going for auditions, sitting and waiting, and then the phone is not ringing, and all of that. Yeah. Okay.
What are your other passions? If you're passionate about business, start. If you're passionate about something else, like, producing, start it. If you're passionate, and it doesn't have, you can start from the bottom. I started from the bottom. Hey, from the dredge.
Really? Hey. I don't know why it's hard for me to believe that. Anyway, it's just because
because my skin fan but fresh face.
That's it. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like people need to, you see this thing of this is the only thing I want to do. This only thing it's not true. God has given us so much as human beings, our abilities to, to be multifaceted.
Yes. I do agree. And let's talk about how you, when I think of you, Akah, I think of humor, laughing. Whenever I'm around you, I'm always laughing, and I'm not the only one. And I feel like that is sort of your standout quality. You've done a lot of comedic roles where you've obviously shone. So for someone, again, looking to come up, do you think it's important to niche down to say, maybe I'm a serious actor, I'm a comedic actor, or do you think that's is not so important anymore and you can just kind of freestyle and go with the flow?
I think that there are people who completely niche out because they know that that's what they want to do and that's who they are. I didn't want to be like a comedic actor. I wanted to be a serious actor. And a serious actor is one who will perform in a comedic setting or in a dramatic setting in a story. And I just wanted to show that, look, anything you put me in, I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah.
And now those were the only opportunities that came my way. So I was like, you know what? I will take it and make the most out of it. There are people who have been, profiled or boxed, and maybe that's all they want to do too. They were like, yeah, I'm coming out for comedy. Oh, I'm coming out for drama. I want to be a fine boy for the rest of my days. You understand? And that's what they know they can kill and do and give. That's the limit for them. And that's okay. So at the end of the day, it's just knowing what you want to do and going for it. And to be honest, as an actor, when you're starting out, just take any opportunity and make the best of it. Like if a comedic role comes, it's acting, interpret it, kill it. If it's a dramatic role, interpret it, kill it, get into the mind of that character and deliver. Comedy is timing, drama is just emoting. So give it your all,
Fantastic. Akah, I feel like I could sit here and chat with you all day. I myself have learned more, even though I thought I knew something about the industry and about just what it takes to have longevity. Because from your story, what I can gather is that you're someone who went into the industry with a lot of passion, a lot of hunger, and you made it work for you. You didn't allow the industry to change who you are. You sort of made it bend to accommodate who you are, and you're definitely flourishing within it. So thank you so much for making time to chat with us on the Career Series.
Thank you very much for having me. Enjoyed it.
You're welcome.